Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. A speeding pickup kills a pedestrian in Berbice. An Albuistown resident is granted bail on a cannabis possession charge. A driver flees the scene, leaving a passenger with an illegal firearm after a crash. A minor is remanded for an alleged assault on a businesswoman at Isano Landing. A man is sentenced to 55 months for causing death by dangerous driving. Cordell Eastman is remanded on new breaking and entering charges. President Ali distributes land leases to residents of Base Road Taimeri, Swan Turn, Kuru Kururu, and Bonakari, Long Creek. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Driver flees scene, leaves passenger with illegal firearm after crash. On Saturday, a driver abandoned his vehicle and passenger after crashing into a soldier's vehicle along the Linden Highway. The incident occurred when the soldier, traveling towards Linden, was struck from behind by a pickup truck. Instead of stopping, the driver attempted to flee the scene. The soldier pursued the fleeing vehicle, which eventually came to a halt. The driver then escaped on foot, leaving behind his passenger, identified as Delbert Barrington, in the front seat. Upon searching the vehicle, authorities discovered a Magnum revolver with 3 live rounds on the back seat. Barrington was arrested and taken into custody while police continue their search for the runaway driver. Albuistown resident granted bail on cannabis possession charge. Quinn Neblett, a resident of Sussex Street, Albuistown, was granted $100,000 bail on Monday after denying possession of 44 grams of cannabis. The charge was read by Magistrate Clive Nurse at Georgetown Magistrates Court 3. According to the allegations, on May 28, 2024, at Barak and Fort Streets in Kingston, Georgetown, Neblett was found with 44 grams of cannabis, allegedly intended for trafficking. Neblett pleaded not guilty to the charge. Represented by attorney Bernard Da Silva, Neblett was granted bail under the condition that he report to the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, at Brickdam every other Monday. The case has been adjourned to July 3 for the presentation of statements. Speeding pickup kills pedestrian in Berbice. A 29-year-old man, Dionarian Budrum, was tragically killed Sunday night after a speeding pickup truck struck him on Johns Public Road on the Quarantine Coast. The incident occurred when Budrum, a resident of Rose Hall Town, was walking along the roadside. The pickup, registered under number 4363, collided with him, causing Budrum to be forcefully thrown into a nearby bus shed due to the impact. The pickup then veered off the road, ending up in a nearby drain, and the driver fled the scene immediately. Police have yet to identify the driver involved in the hit and run. A public-spirited citizen discovered Budrum in an unconscious state and rushed him to Port Morant Public Hospital. Despite these efforts, Budrum was pronounced dead on arrival by the attending doctor. Authorities are actively working to identify and apprehend the driver responsible for the fatal accident. Man sentenced to 55 months for causing death by dangerous driving. Munshwar Balram, a 25-year-old resident of Success Street, Railway Embankment, East Coast Demerara, ECD, has been sentenced to 55 months in prison for causing death by dangerous driving. The sentence was handed down on Friday at the Sparendam Magistrates Court. Balram pled guilty to the charge, which was read by Magistrate Abigail Gibbs. The incident occurred on March 26 at approximately 1:30 a.m. on the La Bonne Intention, Railway Embankment Road, ECD. The accident resulted in the death of 20-year-old Venus Althea Williams, of Section C, Sophia, Greater Georgetown. Reports indicate that at the time of the accident, Williams was a pillion rider on motorcycle CN 894, ridden by Frank Yorick. Balram's dangerous driving led to the tragic incident that claimed Williams' life. Balram's guilty plea and subsequent sentencing highlight the serious consequences of reckless driving on the nation's roads. Minor remanded for alleged assault on businesswoman at Isano Landing. A minor, Ryan Smith, was remanded to prison on Friday for allegedly assaulting a businesswoman, Holly Maunderson, rendering her unconscious on April 24, 2024. Smith appeared virtually at the Bartica Magistrates Court for his second hearing, where he was further remanded until next month. The incident occurred at Maunderson's shop on Isano Landing, Region 7. According to reports, Maunderson, 51, stepped out briefly while Smith browsed her shop. Upon returning, she noticed $10,000 missing from her purse and suspected Smith of the theft. After confronting him, she returned to her shop. Later that evening, Smith allegedly returned to Maunderson's shop armed with a piece of wood. Finding Maunderson asleep in her hammock, he reportedly began beating her with the wood before fleeing the scene. Maunderson was found the next day by customers in and out of consciousness and was immediately rushed to a health center and subsequently to Bartica Hospital. She is still recovering from a fractured skull. A report was filed, leading to Smith's apprehension and subsequent charge for the assault. The case is ongoing, with Smith remaining in custody until his next court appearance. Cordell Eastman remanded on new breaking and entering charges. Cordell Eastman, a 32-year-old resident of Guyana Park, Georgetown, has been remanded to jail on fresh charges of breaking and entering, as well as larceny. Eastman, who is already facing charges of armed robbery, is accused of breaking into multiple stalls at Stabroek Market, Georgetown, and stealing items valued at over $3 million. The incidents reportedly occurred between May 25 and 27, with Eastman allegedly acting in concert with others. The stolen goods included cellular phones, Amazon Fire Sticks, and silver jewelry. During the court proceedings, police prosecutor Christopher Morris requested that Eastman be denied bail due to the severity of the charges and his pending armed robbery case. Morris also mentioned that additional charges related to breaking and entering and larceny could be forthcoming. Eastman's attorney, Stacey Goodings, applied for bail, arguing that her client had been subjected to severe police brutality while in custody. Goodings stated that the beating was so intense it rendered Eastman unconscious, and that police initially refused to provide medical care. It was only after she filed a complaint with the Police Complaint Authority, PCA, that Eastman was taken to the hospital. Goodings also indicated that further legal action against the involved police officers is being considered, as Eastman was denied the opportunity to contact his lawyer during his detention. Despite the arguments presented by the defense, Senior Magistrate Laron Daly denied bail and Eastman was remanded to jail. He is scheduled to appear in court later this month. Eastman was previously charged, along with 3 other men, in connection with a gunpoint robbery where items totaling $240,000 and $6,350,000 were stolen.
Gwendolyn Henry. Sanita Chatra. So you can make your Vishnu Chorma. And Jamati Stevens. And Genevieve Kaptanat. Natasha Williams. Elizabeth Holder. Susan Singh. Nalani Arams. Ashley Tony. Megan Kerman. Ashley Smith. Dance Prasad, Kenneth Prasad, and Parmanan Prasad. Rosanna Masai.